Oh, this is a heavy one. I got quite a few books this spring. It's quite a huge haul. Too much booktube recommendations. Quite a few of these are from the Wainwright Prize in the UK. I was following Eric Carl Anderson, I think is his full name, on Booktube, and he was mentioning all these wonderful books about nature that won awards or were nominated for the award. And I just had to get them because I really want to start following books that get awards. These are mostly nature writing, but not all of these are the Wainwright Prize. Some of these are just books that I decided to get this spring to stimulate my curiosity about other things. So I'll just do a quick go through and you can see if any of these interest you. The first one is Where the Hornbeam Grows by Beth Lynch. Oh my goodness, that cover is so beautiful. As a botanical illustrator, anything with flowers, especially such detailed flowers, just really catches my eye. So let me just read the back blurb. Out of place and lonely after a relocation to Switzerland, Beth Lynch realizes that she needs to get her hands dirty if she is to put down roots. The search for a garden takes her across the country, through meadows and mountain paths, where familiar garden plants run wild, to the rugged hills of the Swiss Jura, where she begins to plant her paradise. Where the Hornbeam Grows is a memoir about carrying a garden inwardly through loss, dislocation, and relocation, about finding a sense of well-being in a green place of one's own, and about the limits of paradise in a peopled world. It is a powerful exploration of how, in nurturing a corner of the natural world, we ourselves are nurtured. I so relate to that. I nurture this little garden here, and it's such a nurturing, like, soul healing practice. This is from the Wainwright Prize from the UK. It was nominated. The second one is Thinking on My Feet, another book about walking. The small joy of putting one foot in front of another. It's also signed by the author. Isn't that cool that I can get that from World of Books and have it also be signed? Let me see where it is. Ooh, there it is. This book celebrates the simple, fundamental act of walking, the remarkable effect it has on our minds and bodies, and the pleasure of moving through the world at walking pace. Yes, the pace that we walk in is the pace that we can actually absorb the world and have it have our body retain a memory of it. When we're just going in our cars, we remember very, very little. Our brain can't process information at that speed. The next book is The Wild Silence by Raynor Wynn. I actually realized this is the second book after The Salt Path, so I do plan on getting that book. It was the land, the earth, and deep humming background to my very being. In 2016, days before they were unjustly evicted from their home, Raynor Wynn was told her husband, Moth, was dying. Instead of giving up, they embarked on a life-changing journey, walking the 630-mile southwest coast path, living by their wits, determination, and love of nature. But all journeys must end, and when the couple returned to the civilization, they find that four walls feel like a prison, cutting them off from the sea and sky that sustained them, that had saved Moth's life. So when the chance to rewild an old Cornish farm comes their way, they grasp it, hoping they'll not only connect with the natural world, but also find themselves once again on its healing path. That sounds really beautiful. I really relate to how being within small city apartments feels like a prison. It really does. And I just want to advise everybody who lives in small city apartments to understand that a lot of belonging and a lot of the soothing of the nervous system can be found in nature. We reconnect to the elements there, to the sun, the earth, the air, the water, all of those sounds of nature are actually very healing to our whole body. Putting our feet on the ground, which is called earthing, changes the electromagnetic field of our bodies to make us healthier. It's a proven fact, you know? So this book sounds beautiful. Next book, Two Trees Make a Forest. Yeah, sorry, they put a quote there in an awkward place. A finely faceted meditation and memory, love, landscape, a beautiful book by Jessica Lee. After unearthing her grandfather's hidden memoir, Jessica Lee embarks on a journey to Taiwan to piece together her family's fractured history, from lush forests, towering mountains, and precipitous coasts to the abstract landscapes of language and memory. Lee traces stories of a country built on natural and political fault lines and of its people. It sounds really beautiful. It's an international read, which I look forward to in a way. I'm trying to do more international reads. I'm actually probably going to do another video on the books on my TBR, international TBR. Next book is The Moth Snowstorm, Nature and Joy. Oh, that's another gorgeous cover. Gorgeous. A great, rhapsodic, urgent book full of joy, grief, rage, and love. It is at once a deeply affecting memoir and a heartbreaking account of ecological impoverishment. It fights against indifference, shines with the deep magic and beauty of the non-human lives around us, and shows how their loss lessens us all. A must-read. Definitely my type of book. And also, we see moths here sometimes, the big green ones. Still need to know their name. Maybe this book will inspire me to learn my moths. Next book, The World of Wonders, in praise of fireflies, whale sharks, and other astonishments. I will not try to pronounce that name. Sorry, author. This book is about to shake the earth. And let me just read a review, I guess. World of Wonders is the first book to make me feel like a firefly, as much as it reminds me I'm still a black boy playing in central Mississippi woods. The book walks, it sprints, it leaps. Most importantly, the book lingers in a world where people, power, and the literal outside wrestle painfully, beautifully. This book is a world of wonders. This book is about to shake the earth. Casey Lemon. That sounds really good. And it's really thin, which I like in the summer when I'm so busy with my art in my garden. The 8 Master Lessons of Nature by Gary Ferguson. It is hard to put down the phone and pay attention to the larger world, but as this insightful book makes clear, that kind of attention to the natural world can help set us on better paths for our lives, our societies, and our future. Bill McKibben. This beautiful book will make your genes ache with homesickness for the mystery we spring from. Luckily, it's waiting right outside. Let Gary Ferguson take you there. You'll remember and you'll thank him. Yeah, I should have read more books like this when I was living in New York City, and I felt so disconnected. I felt so alone, so lost. There are 3 types of belonging. One is belonging to yourself, one's belonging to other people, and one's belonging to place. And nature, for me, is definitely the place. It gives me that sense of belonging. The next book is Diary of a Young Naturalist by Dara McAnulty. Sorry if I mispronounce these. There are unfurlings in the forest, Anemones and ferns are springing from patient earth, from dim and ancient spaces. Evensong is erupting, and the airspace is once again crowded with music after the winter silence. Bluebells are in the cusp. Spring light and warmth are spreading across the mountains and into me. I have embraced the darkness, but now this feeling of light is intoxicating, explosive, and alive. So poetic. It sounds like Mary Oliver. Next book is Late Migrations, A Natural History of Love and Loss, Margaret Rankle. Once again, a beautiful cover. Beautifully written, masterfully structured, and brimming with insight into the natural world, Late Migrations can claim its place alongside Pilgrim at Tinker Creek and A Death in the Family. It has the makings of an American classic. I love Pilgrim at Tinker Creek by Annie Dillard. Wow, beautiful. English Pastoral, An Inheritance, James Rebanks. Once again, one of the Wainwright Prize nominees or winners. A beautifully written story of a family, a home, and changing landscape. Told with humility and grace, this story of farming over 3 generations will be our land's salvation. Maybe I wish I lived in England. Thin Places, a remarkable piece of writing. I don't think I've ever read a book as open-hearted as this. Robert Macfarlane. I know him actually as an author, so that's lovely when I see the authors that I know giving their reviews. Carrie Nee Dorcharte. I'm sorry, I cannot pronounce that. It seems as if everything about life is contained within the covers of this astonishing book. Politics, history, nature, language, and of course, love. A profound and moving work of art. Okay, so these last 3 books are not about nature. They are about books, about about the process of reading, about how to enjoy reading more. And I see these books, this is actually niche, I really delved into last winter. I'll be doing a separate video, so if you want to hear that, subscribe and I'll keep you posted. I really delved into it last winter, reading books about books, and this book is one of my favorites in that genre. I got it this spring and read it in like 2 days. It's so witty, so smart, so spontaneous in a way. And it talks about how books find us, how we find books and make connections with them, and how it's important to find them at the right time, and how it's okay to sometimes put aside a book, read what you love. She's not, even though she's very, very well read, I think she writes for the New Yorker or something, she is not snobbish at all. She's like, if you don't like a classic, don't read it. If you like Captain Underpants, read it, enjoy it. She's very witty. So the next books are about learning and curiosity. Yes, I think it's very important to read about learning, because I think our school system does not really teach us how to learn. It just shoves us information and it's just like, memorize this, regurgitate it, go on to the next thing. I hope that this book will inspire me to learn and delve deeply into subjects and remember the information, remember the skills. Make it stick. The Science of Successful Learning. There are 3 different authors. And yeah, it says it's an easy read. This is a quite remarkable book. The authors present research findings that have truly important and intuitive implications for how we can all become more effective learners, teachers, and coaches. And they provide examples and stories that bring that research out of the lab and into the real world. In this book, I love the cover. Curious. Look at everything from different sides, like an owl. Turn your head this way, go all right, turn it 360 degrees. Keep looking. Psychology. I have no special talents, said Albert Einstein. I am only passionately curious. In Curious, I Am Leslie makes the case for cultivating our desire to know. Curious people tend to be smarter, more creative, and more successful. But at the very moment when the rewards of curiosity have never been higher, it is misunderstood, undervalued, and increasingly practiced only by the cognitive elite. Drawing on fascinating research from psychology, sociology, and business, Leslie looks at what feeds curiosity and what starves it, and uncovers surprising answers. Curiosity isn't a quality you can rely on to last a lifetime, but a mental muscle that atrophies without regular exercise. It's not a gift, but a habit that parents, schools, workplaces, and individuals need to nurture if it is to thrive. Filled with inspiring stories, case studies, and practical advice, Curious will change the way you think about your own mental life and that of those around you. I know that in this world where so many people are bored, so many people are constantly scrolling because they don't know what to do with themselves, they're restless. We all need to nourish curiosity, and this is what my channel is really about. I've started nourishing my curiosity, and I never lost that muscle because I was always reading. I was always painting, and those two things really stimulate curiosity. But sometimes I still feel a little bit bored. I feel restless. I don't know how to apply myself. And I hope that this book will make me more curious in a way that's nourishing and productive and applicable. And also, I love little sciencey bits that tell me how my brain works and how to make it work better, how to make this monkey mind a little bit less restless and bored at times, especially in the winter. So yeah, this is the last read for my spring read. I hope that was interesting. I hope you pick up one of these books and let me know what you think. Leave a comment if you've read any of them. Leave a comment if you have any books that you think I really should read based on my interests. I look forward to letting you know more about my reading experience. I'll be doing vlogs and books on other subjects and my TBR list, my books for this month. Till then, bye.